focused and being able to make that happen, we have to have some measure where we can assess where we're at as a business. Now, if you're making tons of money hand over fist, I'm not going to say you don't need them. Then I think you need them a little even more, because you have a tendency to make some bad decisions potentially, right? But for the most part, what I've found is a lot of entrepreneurs do not have an understanding of the basics of finances, don't have an understanding of your basic financial statements, what you need in terms of being able to compare if you need funding or talking to different people, lenders, your advisors, and those other people. You don't know your numbers. Now, I am not a financial person. If you want to talk marketing automation, you want to take some business process and do it a faster way, I'm your girl. But if you are talking about finances, law, legal opinions, things like that, I'm not your expert. So you have to go find the right kind of person. Now, I will tell you, it has been a little challenging to find financial, like bookkeeping, accounting, and lawyers that are very versed in online type businesses. So if that's you, go ahead and hit me up, message me, because I'm looking for someone with some specific knowledge. Anyway, so the point of this quick video is just to share with you some basics, just like a primer. I'm not trying to educate you on finance. I'm not trying to, walk you through the details of creating these financial statements. I'm just, as another entrepreneur out here on the grind with you, sharing information that you can take and quickly and identify and do something with. Okay, that's my objective. I'm not out here trying to coach you. I'm not your, I'm not your business partner. Well, I'm kind of your business partner because we're entrepreneurs. But the point is, so all I want to let you know is the 3 financial statements that you need to be aware of and what information they convey. Now, another reason to do this is just in general, in context, is finances are the language of business. It's the common language that we can all share. It's not everything. You can't look just at a company's financials and make a decision about that company. No one can do that because there are too many other factors. There's regulation, there's the context of your environment, there's the technological changes and innovations and things that happen. So you can't really tell the whole story, but it is a common language that we can all speak, that we can use to evaluate and kind of position ourselves against other alternatives when looking for investors, because they're going to start with the common numbers. Okay. So that being said, income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. Okay. So I'm just going to give you like a really basic high level. Here's what they are. And here, go play with it. Now, one more thing I'm going to say before I do that, though, is to say, even if you're just starting out, you have no idea. You don't have money to hire anyone to do accounting for you. You're just out here doing the thing, and you're using basically your track register is your tracking. I would highly encourage you to create financial statements. Just basic, baby. Just go out on Google what they are and play with it now when it's early, because then as you grow, you just need to update. And then as you grow, you'll understand about how your business runs, because you'll be able to see and align the results of your activities with how they affected your financial statement. So I highly encourage you, if you have not done so already, to take a little time and actually set up a set of financial statements for yourself, just for fun. Okay. And I swear that'll be worth it. I wish I had done that. I did not. And so, so that's how I can tell you, like, make sure you do that. So the point is, your balance sheet. Your balance sheet is your assets. List out your assets, your liabilities, and then what they call retained earnings or your owner's equity. Okay. And what the balance sheet does is it basically just gives you a net of how much equity there is in your business. So your assets minus your liabilities, okay, should match whatever your equity is. Okay. And that's about as much as I'm gonna tell you, but just in general. So assets are, cash, any inventory that you have, maybe any property you have. The difference is if it's cash, it's short term. If it's property, it's long term. Okay. Liabilities are bills that you owe people. Plus, you can have accruals in there, but liabilities are what you owe people. And then your equity is what you put into the business plus any income that you've retained, right? So it's a balance of all your financial aspects. That's it. That's all you get from me. Go find your bookkeeper. The second thing is your income statement is your revenue minus your expenses. Okay. So before, and they have, different aspects of it. You hear people talk about earnings before interest and taxes and all that kind of stuff. I'm not your finance person, but I'm going to tell you that your income statement is your revenue, the money that comes in the door, less your expenses. Okay. And preferably that needs to be over zero. Okay. So if your revenue less your expenses is a negative number, no surprise here, you're losing money. And if it's a positive number, you're making money. So put together your income statement just so you can kind of see and have an awareness about what your expenses are. This is very eye-opening. Why? Because we're signing up. I don't know about you, but I'm signing up for stuff all the time. oh yeah, let me get this tool, let me get that tool, and adding to those expenses. And sometimes we're not always aware of the impact of the expenses. And sometimes you need to look and get rid of some stuff. But if you don't have an awareness just by looking at these statements each month, then you kind of are in the dark. So revenue less expenses equals income or loss. Okay. Income statement. Cash flow statement is a little different because your cash flow statement is how much money do I have coming in and out? Inflows and outflows. Inflows and outflows. So your cash flow statement is kind of like your operating, how you're going from day to day. How much money do I have coming in? How much money do I have coming out? And what can I do? How can I work with it? Okay. So those are the three statements that you need to have: your balance sheet, your income statement, and your cash flow statement. So now go out and Google the components of them, take all of your stuff and put it in as best you know how. And you know what? When you do get a bookkeeper and an accountant, it'll be so much easier the transition. Get some type of software that you can use to track these things. If you are a techie person, then there's an app called Waze, which I think is free. I'm a Quicken QuickBooks person. They have Quicken for Business, and then they have QuickBooks, which is basically a business-centered version of Quicken. I had QuickBooks and then I went back to Quicken because I liked having everything in one place. But sometimes, depending on your bookkeeping service, they may have, some kind of discount for you for QuickBooks. And maybe it makes sense because maybe you're not using other tools like Quicken. Okay. So, and then if you are, you don't want to be bothered with an application, then use a spreadsheet. Just go Google it, look up what's, each one, and then have a workbook, one spreadsheet, have that be your balance statement, another worksheet, income statement, balance sheet, income statement, another sheet, cash flow, ins, outs. So it could be, use your check register to start, right? But the important thing is that you become familiar with the terminologies. There's a book that, I'll post the name of it. What was it? Financial Intelligence. I think it's a Financial Intelligence. So find a book, a reference where you can learn about the finances, where you can learn about finances and play with it because you'll want to learn that. Okay. So if you don't want to bother with an app, then use a spreadsheet. You can use Google Sheets for free. And then just put your 3 little worksheets in there and start to look at revenue less expenses. Revenue, what are my assets? What do I have as assets? Oh, is that an asset or is that not an asset? And start having those conversations. And what will happen is when you are in the presence of people who are financial experts and stuff like that, at least you can begin to have an understanding about the meaning of these different things in a broader context. Okay. So just be familiarizing yourself with the lingo. And then if you just say, you know what, I don't care, Jewel, I don't want an app and I'm not funkying around with no spreadsheet, then just get a notebook, get a notebook, spiral book, like this, get a notebook and just have a section. One section is revenue, one section expenses, one section assets, one section liabilities, one section equity and what you put into the business. Okay. And cash flows, and just do it on pay. Use your cash register, your bank. Make sure, of course, you have a separate bank account for your business, right? Use your bank account. Export as your cash flow if you need to. The important thing is to become familiar with the lingo and begin to run your business and understand how your activities, your day-to-day activities, impact your financial statements. So when you're ready to get financing, if you need funding, then you're at least familiar with it, and it's not like you're overwhelmed and you don't understand. You have professionals working for you, but you really don't understand what they do. You'll understand enough to be able to ask some educated questions. Okay, that was my goal. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was helpful, then definitely share the video. I love when people share my videos. And put a comment below and let me know, like, what financial accounting software are you using? Do you have a great bookkeeper or accountant or lawyer that specializes in online businesses? I would love to be able to meet them and understand what they're about. And so with that, thank you for watching, and I'll check you out next time on Lunch with Jewel. Bye for now.